What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm buying Deathloop, and you should too. So this is my kind of series right before a game or a movie comes out, where I kind of just talk about my final thoughts on it, and whether I am, getting it, not getting it, and why. And we've talked about Deathloop quite a bit on this channel. It's very good. I set kind of internal goals that I did want to cover this game as much as I could, and I think I've done a pretty okay job. I will be covering this game obviously over the next couple weeks if the review scores come out early on it, stuff like that. We'll talk about it, and once the game comes out, I'll definitely be covering it as well. I'm excited. As I've said in the past, well, that's one of my main phrases I like to use, is just the simple words I'm excited. I am, though. I've always been slightly concerned with this game. I'm gonna be bluntly honest. I feel like this is a candidate for a game that I could very well buy, play, and immediately just sense there's a disconnect between the game and me, and then feel like I wasted that money. That's 100% a thought that goes through my mind. It's not the only thought that goes through my mind, but it is a thought. And it's for the simple reason, as I've said in past videos, that it's just so much like Dishonored. So much. And it's also like Dishonored while being a time loop game, which is very interesting. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, it's a really cool thing. But I've never, and I've said this before, right? Dishonored, I know it's a great game franchise. I know people love the game. I know, critically well received, commercially received well from fans, like all of that stuff. It's just one of those games and franchises that, for whatever reason, Far Cry has kind of been like that for me in the past. Even like maybe Metal Gear games, they've never really connected to me for whatever reason. I've never really gotten too far into them. So, that's kind of what scares me about Deathloop, is it very much is the spiritual, trilogy, the third game in the Dishonored franchise. I did play Dishonored 1 and 2, Dishonored 1 more than 2, and, again, like, I thought they were solid, but there was just something about it that wasn't for me. But Deathloop does look fun. It does, again, I think the idea of the looping part is very, very exciting. I was even watching, a few days ago, a PlayStation Access. If you guys don't know them, they're a British PlayStation channel, phenomenal channel, really, really awesome people there, and they, were kind of explaining it if you've never heard of the game before, and kind of breaking down details that even I never really was paying attention to much of, like different times of the day and different things will be happening at those different times. Very much even what you would kind of consider a Dishonored thing. Guards have schedules, or people have schedules, but they can kind of adapt and change. I think I'm ready to give it a shot in 2021. That's kind of what I've rationalized to myself, is like, I don't know, like, normally I think this would actually be a game that I would be a lot more hesitant on, or it's like, if I'm trying to save money or whatever, maybe I wouldn't get it just because of the past. But it's like, no, I'm going in. I may be, again, in my mind when I play the game, it just may not be clicking. I may be wasting the money, but I want to give it a chance. I want to see if a game like this clicks with me this year, in 2020. Maybe things have changed, internally with me, and they really have over the past year and a half, 2 years. I've been I've been more games in the past 2 years than I did 10 years, before that. It's actually incredible. So I'm excited. I think the idea of like somebody invading your game and they're hunting you while you're hunting targets, and you have to kind of keep an eye out, like, that's a really awesome idea. It does look like a I don't know. To me, it looks a little bit better than Dishonored, and I don't know if that's just because of my kind of negative opinions on it, but I'm definitely ready for this game. I'm just kind of worried that the mix of, like, it being Dishonored, basically, along with when you die, you restart, a lot of things kind of reset. If that happens too many times and they kind of cross each other, if that's going to just become a negative experience for me. So I know, most of this video has kind of just been a little bit of like worry from me, but, it's something that I do think about. But if anything, that actually, I would say, lowers my expectations for the game, where it's like I'm getting it no matter what. And then when it comes out and I play it, right, if it, is just pretty good, I don't even know where I'm putting my expectations for it right now, so we'll have to see. I'm going to be, kind of interested to see what those early impressions are. As I've said before, I don't go based off of review scores. However, this is a game that I'm a little bit more kind of cautious of and just unsure of in my own mind, so it's something I feel like going to be looking at what, not necessarily, like, I really actually don't care at all what IGN, Kotaku, GameSpot, I don't care what they say about it, but what are other YouTubers saying about it? What are people that I kind of trust? Did they get to play it early, and what are they saying about it? But I think this is a pretty much a lock for a day one buy for me. I'm really hoping that I enjoy it. I'm going to give it as much time as I possibly can to kind of win me over, even if it's not 100% my thing. I'd even argue like Psychonauts is a good, like Psychonauts 2. I didn't love that game. I thought it was a solid game. I thought it was a really fun and very funny game at times, but it wasn't necessarily, I think, a game for me that I would like always play it, but I played it beginning to end. I stuck through it, and I really did enjoy my time. So honestly, I kind of looked at that as a bouncing pad for Deathloop, where it's like, even if it's not my thing, let's just try it out. Let's go through the whole thing and let's see what happens with it. So let me know what you guys think. I know there's been general, I would say, excitement from what I've seen from you guys on the Deathloop videos, that you guys are ready for it, but maybe not super in love with it. So I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Like I said, there'll be plenty more videos talking about Deathloop when the game is out and all that stuff, so there's a lot more to come. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you see those videos. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitter yet, I do have a Twitter. I do have a second YouTube channel, and we also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. The links for all of it, Twitter, second channel, and the support basically, are in the description below. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.